in 1983, and a couple of my old school buddies invited me over to party with them, and they pulled out this white powder and asked me if I wanted to try it. For whatever reason, I decided to try that white powder, which is cocaine, and I was hooked on it instantly. My drug addiction got so bad that I started robbing businesses and that sort of thing. I ended up doing 9 years in North Carolina prison, 7 years in South Carolina prison, and 8 years in the Texas prison. Just short of 24 years, a quarter of a century, almost half of the life that I've lived. When I was facing that time in the county jail before I was sentenced by the judges, I had heard enough about Jesus Christ in my younger years to believe that he was available. I knew deep down inside of myself that I wasn't going to be able to do all this prison time by myself. I was never going to make it on my own. As I look back, I consider my 24 years in prison as being in seminary for 24 years. I didn't know that August 27, 2009 was going to be the first day of a long journey. That was the first day that I didn't have a desire, an urge, or obsession to use drugs of any kind. The disease of addiction and alcoholism, we are slaves to our addiction. The only way that we can overcome that on a day-to-day basis is to put our faith and our trust into a higher power. The higher power that I have is the God of the Bible. Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior. And I don't say that lightly, because when you call Jesus Lord, you're essentially saying that you're his slave. And for me to say that I'm a slave of Jesus rather than a slave of my drug addiction is an honor that I don't deserve, but I certainly appreciate. One of the preachers that I used to listen to on the radio, sometimes if he would say something that the congregation would applaud, or if he said something kind of funny, you could hear him laughing. And so I said, man, when I get out, I'm going to try to get hooked up with a church that I can participate in and not just be a spectator. Welcome a new member with, open arms, and let them know that they're welcome here, regardless of, what they've done or what they've said. That's the kind of welcome I got here when I joined. I've been a member of this church for about a year and a half now, and after the first couple of services, I knew this was where God wanted me to be. I had all this Bible knowledge when I was in prison, and I couldn't do anything with it, except just continuously, run it through my mind. And so when I got out and I found a church home, God told me, I didn't give you all that knowledge to keep it inside. It's time to spread it out a little bit. I'm working under a grant that was devised by Pastor Jim to help me and anybody else who were to follow me to sharpen our conversation skills, our work skills. I basically do custodian type work, taking out the trash, sweeping them out from the floors, buffing the floors, trying to make them shine good. And I just like to help people. I think I have the gift of encouragement. I know how to communicate with the ones that are way up here in a socioeconomical scale, I guess you could say, from way up here and way down here, and in the middle, because I've been in every one of those spots. There's just something about coming to this address. It seems that as soon as my feet hit the ground, something happens in my spirit. I kind of go back to what Moses went through when he saw the burning bush. God told Moses, he said, take your shoes off because you're standing on holy ground. From where I was to where I am now, Jesus carried me. It's a miracle. I'm a miracle. It's amazing what he can do with a broken vessel.